Call to the bullpen for Todd Whitting, and the Houston Cougars brings a familiar face to the hill for Houston. They will now turn things over to the two-way player, the left-hander. From Portland, Texas, and Gregory Portland High School, the former Sam Houston Bearkat in his second stint with the Houston Cougars. It's number 13, Malachi Lott. In his return here to Houston, he makes his 6th appearance of the year. He's worked 6 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. Has struck out 11 and walked 2 to boast a 5.68 ERA. He comes on in the middle of an at-bat, a 2-0 count, dealing with his former team. And Jace Martinez at the plate with a 2-0 count. The runner at third is Sam Lee. He represents the go-ahead run for the Bearkats. Infield in for the Cougars with 1 out. Trying to keep this game tied. Lott's first pitch of the ball game. Martinez goes the opposite way, but foul into the seats. And there's the first strike of the at-bat. Malachi Lott in his last outing was over the weekend against Texas Tech through a clean inning and struck out 2 Red Raiders. 2-1 count, runner at third, and the pitch. Martinez fouls it out of play here off to the right. And now the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lott a year ago with the Bearkats. Produced 18 multi-hit games. And he worked 9 scoreless outings out of the bullpen for the orange and white. Now back in the red and white for Houston. 2-2 count on Martinez, 1 out. Lee, the runner at third. Breaking ball outside, ball 3 to Jace Martinez. Martinez 0 for 2 so far here tonight. Ground out in the first, and he struck out in the third to Chris Perez. Lee itching to get to the plate. Lott from the stretch, payoff. Martinez takes inside, ball 4. So he works the walk. Now a chance for Hunter Autry to cash in. Catcher in Cole Carbone giving the signs to the infield as they will now back off to their respective positions. Sabathia will hold the runner, Martinez at first. Everyone else playing straight up here in this at-bat for Hunter Autry. The lefty-on-lefty battle. Lott from the stretch delivers. Autry slaps this one the other way to left center field, and it gets down for a base hit in front of Broussard. That'll plate Sam Lee and the Bearkats retake the lead here in the top of the 5th on an RBI single for Hunter Autry. Martinez will move up a station to second. But still only 1 out in the top of the 5th. Bearkats take a 2-1 advantage. Second hit of the inning for the Bearkats. Brings Blake Brown to the plate. Double play depth on the infield for Houston as Lott deals double steal. Throw will be down to second by Carbone, and it's not in time as Autry and Martinez both swipe a bag. And that will take the double play threat away, and a Blake Brown base hit could bring home 2 more runs for the orange and white. Pitch was indeed a strike. So Brown behind in the count, 0-1 against Lott. Infield back in for Houston as Brown down the third baseline foul. And the count now 0-2 on the Bearkat third baseman. 2-1, Sam Houston leads in the top of the 5th. Jace Martinez at third, Hunter Autry at second. Brown at the plate facing his former teammate in Malachi Lott. Lott from the stretch, set of the belt, the 0-2. Brown takes up and away for ball 1. Right side of the infield, starting to back off, but Sabathia still on the transition from the infield grass to the dirt. Brown works a 1-2 count with 1 out. Runners at third and second. And the pitch from Lott. Brown, did he hold up? He did not. The throw will be to first to complete the strikeout. And that's a big out number 2 for Malachi Lott and the Houston Cougars. And keeps Martinez and Autry where they're at third and second respectively. As Brown could not hold up on the pitch in the dirt. And now Ryan Frandon will take his cuts here for the third time tonight. Singled in the second. Flied out in the fourth. Cougars trying to avoid the big inning for the Bearcats. Watt deals first pitch to Frandon. A high fly ball down the right field line. Running to his left, Xavier Perez squares up with the baseball and he makes the catch. And that will retire the side, but the Bearcats retake the lead on an RBI single by Hunter Autry to give them a 2-1 advantage through 4.5 here in Game 3 of the Don Sanders Cup in Sugar Land. From Van Wagner, this is Sam Houston Baseball on the Bearcats Sports Network. Going to the bottom of the 5th here at Constellation Field in Sugar Land. 2-1 lead for the Sam Houston Bearcats over the Houston Cougars in this third game of the Don Sanders Cup Series. Carlos Zimmermann with you. Here's a little trivia for you. Why is this called the Don Sanders Cup Series? Well, Schroeder Park in Houston, the field named after the legendary Don Sanders. And then, of course, you Bearcat fans know Don Sanders Stadium, or simply known as the Don, as Don Sanders donates to both programs. And it's bringing this rivalry whole different meaning over the last few years. Right now, it's the orange and white leading the way. After an RBI single for Hunter Autry, got the Bearcats back in the run column. First run since the second inning, and now Garrett Bauman is coming out for his 5th inning of work. But he still only surrendered the 1 run and the 1 hit. He'll face the 6, 7, and 8 of Todd Whitting's squad. Cade Climby, the left fielder, will dig back into the box where he's 0 for 1. But before Climby heads to the box, Ty Marthel Johnny heads back over to his dugout to give a piece of equipment to Jay Sirianni, and now gets a new one. I think it's that scout card that they wear, so he'll head back to his spot behind the plate, and Climby will come to the dish. Bauman has been nothing but impressive so far through this outing, and he'll look to keep that going here. The righty from Poth, the transfer from Temple College. And the first pitch at the bottom of the 5th. Climby swings and ropes that one in the left center, down for a hit. Take a sharp turn at first, but will hold up there. And the first hit of the night for Cade Climby puts the tying run on base for the Cougars. Broadcaster's curse coming through there after praising Bauman's outing. This marks his officially longest outing of the year. Prior to today, his longest outing had been a 3 innings of work against NJIT back on February the 21st, where he gave up 5 hits and just 1 run. Trying to keep the Cougars at bay here with 1 on and nobody out. 2-1 lead for the Bearcats, and Aaron Lugo squaring around to lay down the bunt. It's a good one. As bobbled by Bauman, throw to second to get the lead runner in Cade Climby. Nice play and a good job by Martinez to stay on that second base bag. Bauman hesitated for a second, but still made a decent enough throw to take out the lead runner. And for those of you scoring at home, that is Fielder's Choice 1-6. So that takes Climby off the base paths, leaves Lugo at first, and 1 out for the Cougars in the bottom of the 5th. Brings the Cougar backstop, Cole Carbone, to the plate. The lefty Carbone dealing with the righty Bauman, and from the stretch, Carbone, a half-hearted swing down the first baseline, foul. And a good start to the at-bat for Bauman. Bauman comes set at the bell, working from the stretch. Pick off. Attempt of Lugo, but he's back in plenty of time. Lugo on the year, 2 for 2 for stolen bases and attempts. Carbone at the dish, 0 for 1, a ground out victim in the second. Cats leading 2-1 with 1 on and 1 out. Carbone fouls that one off the end of the bat to the left side. And the count quickly 0-2 on the Cougar catcher. Bearkats now winners of 2 straight after knocking off Abilene Christian on Sunday and then winning our first game today, 12-11. Pitchers duel so far as we reach the halfway point. 0-2, Carbone takes ball 1. Ball popped out of the glove of Marthel-Johnny, and that will take the double play threat away. As Aaron Lugo now ends up at second base. We'll see if they decide to score that a wild pitch on Garrett Bauman, which would be the first of the night. And it is indeed scored a wild pitch on Garrett Bauman, the 4th that he has issued this season. So he has a quick conference with Jace Martinez, the shortstop, and now they'll both return to their places. Lugo now on at second. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, and the Bearkats with a 2-1 advantage. Bauman now stares into his catcher, Marthel-Johnny. 1-2 delivery coming to Carbone. Here it is. It's outside for ball 2, and the count evens up. Carbone batting .400 on the year, a very small sample size, as he's only playing in his 3rd game here in 2025 for the Cougars, as Bauman delivers the 2-2, and Carbone hits this one into the wind in shallow right. Addison Smith camping underneath of it, fighting that wind, and hauls it in for the second out. A good job there by the sophomore out of Liberty, Missouri, coming over from Oklahoma State, making a nice play. And a big out number 2 in support of Garrett Bauman will bring bottom of the order the shortstop Tyler Cox to the plate. Lugo remains the runner at second, has a sizable lead as Bauman 1 out away from getting out of the inning. He delivers ball 1 down and away to Cox. Cox is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second. His lone time up, and that led off the 3rd. Bauman a stare back at Lugo at second. A second one, and the 1-0. Cox, third base side foul. 2 years ago, when he was at Dartmouth, he was ranked the 46th best Division I shortstop prior to that season by D1 Baseball. He was 28th best 6 weeks into that season as a member of the Ivy League's Big Green. 1-1 the count, 2 out, 2 on Sam Houston in the bottom of the 5th. And the pitch from Bauman caught the outer half for strike 2 on the bender. Bauman retoes the slab. Cox trying to keep the inning going for Houston, down 1. And the 1-2 into the dirt, but smothered and kept in front by Marthel-Johnny. Big opportunity here for the Bearkats to keep this a 1-run game. Lugo, the tying run at second base for the Cougars. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch. Up and away for ball 3. And Tyler Cox showing good plate discipline here, trying to work a walk and get it back to the top of the order. Trey Broussard waits on deck. Bauman looking for the second strikeout of the game. Payoff pitch on the way. Cox through the left side, a hit. And it bobbles away from Hunter Autry and left, and that will tie the game. And ending up at second is Cox. Autry tried to charge it and load up a throw to go to the plate, but he looked to home before the ball was in the glove. And we are tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 5th, and now the go-ahead run for the Cougars is at second base, represented by Tyler Cox. Jay Sirianni, for the first time tonight, is out of the dugout. Bearkats with 2 out and a payoff pitch just couldn't quite keep the tying run from scoring. And this may be the end of the night for the Bearkats starter Garrett Bauman. That last one, a single for Cox to the left side. Advancing to second on an error by Autry. First error of the ball game for either side. We'll indeed see if this is a call to the pen to try and get the third and final out of the bottom of the fifth. Tied at 2 between Houston and Sam Houston, and there will be no move as Garrett Bauman will stay in the ball game to deal with the center fielder, Trey Broussard. Broussard's been quiet tonight, 0 for 2. He grounded out in the first, and he flew out to center field in the third. Go-ahead run for the Cougars at second base, represented by Tyler Cox. And Bauman will face the lefty Broussard. We'll see if this decision by Jay Sirianni will pay off as he tries to get more arms loose in the pen. Tied at 2 here in the last of the fifth. RBI single for Tyler Cox, tying this game. As we have a quick pause. Umpires trying to get some things correct here. There's our crew chief, Jet Minton, writing something down on his scorecard. Now Bauman will retoe the slab to face Broussard for the third time tonight. First pitch. Broussard takes low for ball 1. Off speed, not working there for Bauman. He's done a good job tonight mixing pitches. Trying to keep the Cougars off balance. Cox with a healthy lead at second. Bauman stares back at him once, and the 1-0. Fouled away to the left side, Broussard. Bauman going through the signs here with Marthel Johnny. The count even up 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. 1 on at second. Tied at 2. The pitch. Down and in for ball 2 to the Cougars center fielder. Broussard this last weekend against Texas Tech was able to lace 4 hits in 12 at-bats to bat .333 for the weekend. 2-1 the count, 2 out. Bauman from the stretch, set at the belt, he delivers. Swing and a miss by Broussard, 2-2. Two and 2 the count with 2 out. Bottom of the fifth in Sugarland. Tying run, or go-ahead run rather, at second base. And the 2-2, Broussard laces this one to left center field. Autry will make the catch to retire the side. 1 across for the Cougars in the bottom of the fifth on an RBI single by Tyler Cox, but he is stranded on the base pass. And we go to the sixth, tied at 2 in Game 3 of the Don Sanders Cup. From Van Wagner, this is Sam Houston Baseball on the Bearkats Sports Network.